In this video, we'll look at how ChatGPT and similar language learning models can impact coders. We'll also look at how to take advantage of these impacts and examine how you can stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving technology landscape. First, let's break down what exactly ChatGPT is and how it works. ChatGPT is an AI language model by OpenAI based on GPT-4, designed to generate human-like text and perform various tasks, including answering questions and engaging in conversation. This response was given to me by ChatGPT's latest iteration, GPT-4. In short, it's an AI that you can talk to and solve problems with via text prompts. You can think of it as a very sharp assistant that can help you do your knowledge work-based tasks throughout your day. This tool can help you with the following: answering questions, providing recommendations, generating text, engaging in conversation, summarizing information, translating languages, and offering writing assistance. The questions that it can answer have no human comprehensible limitation. Accordingly, the creators of it, a company by the name of OpenAI, trained the model on an extensive amount of data. Computer scientist and author Cal Newport says about an older model of ChatGPT: if the data that define GPT-3's underlying program were printed out, they would require hundreds of thousands of average length books to store. According to the creators of the language model, the newest model, GPT-4, performs in the 90th percentile for the bar exam. Moreover, while coders like you can use GPT-4 to help you code according to its Code Forces rating of 392, it's currently, at best, an excellent newbie programmer. Now, instead of adding non-research hype to the hype fest surrounding this language learning model, I figured instead we take a pragmatic look at how it actually works. If you had a chance to use GPT and its newest model, GPT-4, its fluid responses to your prompts can make it seem like there is a living entity on the other side of that interface. In a passage from his New Yorker article, Cal Newport says, "A system like ChatGPT doesn't create, it imitates. When you send it a request to write a biblical verse about removing a sandwich from a VCR, it doesn't form an original idea about the conundrum. It instead copies, manipulates, and pastes together text that already exists, originally written by human intelligences, to produce something that sounds like how a real person would talk about these topics." However, the magic trick becomes less jaw-dropping to a more trained eye. In other words, ChatGPT is good at, through a bunch of math and engineering, imitating a correct response to your query based on the existing data that it is trained on. However, it is not thinking in the traditional sense. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about how ChatGPT works and that it's not sentient, the next question becomes, how will it impact coders? What's up, guys? It's Fido. If you're a coder looking for your first coding job, make sure to go to getmoneycoding.com and download your free salary report so you can find out how much money you can make as a coder, what are some technology trends that you should be on the lookout for, as well as what the current coding job market looks like today. All for free. All you have to do is go to getmoneycoding.com and download your free salary report. Now, back to the show. The most immediate use case for these models is that it makes the splitting hairs aspects of programming a little bit more automated for coders. OpenAI writes about Codex, which was an antecedent of GPT-4. Once a programmer knows what to build, the act of writing code can be thought of as 1. Breaking a problem down into simpler problems, and 2. mapping those simple problems to existing code, libraries, APIs, or functions that already exist. The latter activity is probably the least fun part of programming and the highest barrier to entry, and it's where OpenAI Codex excels the most. In other words, these models can help you solve technical problems at a higher level without you having to write all of the tedious code alone. You'll still have to get your hands dirty, but now you have a jackhammer. Accordingly, while using GitHub Copilot, which implements a version of these GPT models, developers out of a test group completed a given task 55% faster than developers who didn't use Copilot. Accordingly, the models help you pump out more code given the substantial productivity boost. The issue with new guys entering into the field is that they will be at a disadvantage of more experienced developers who are currently utilizing these tools. The reason why is because your current understanding of fundamental programming limits these models' capabilities. In other words, the more you know, the more that you could get the model to do your bidding. The playing field, however, is more balanced than it seems for up-and-coming programmers. The models can also be used for you to learn these same programming fundamentals at a rate likely much faster than if you were to try to do the same on your own. Professional developer and teacher Brad Traversy writes about learning with ChatGPT. We all have a preference when it comes to learning something new, whether that's video tutorials, articles, books, documentation, other people's code, and just people in general. These are all great ways to learn something new or to learn more about something you already know. Well, ChatGPT is something else that we can add to the list. The thing that makes ChatGPT different from most other learning methods is that it's dynamic. With a book or a video, you have the content that's there, and that's that. But with ChatGPT, you can ask it specific questions and get personalized answers based on your unique context and knowledge level. It can help you understand complex problems in a simple way or clarify details you might be confused about. Additionally, it can help you discover new areas of interest that you might not have thought about before. I think the closest learning method to ChatGPT is the one-on-one tutoring or mentoring. But even that is different because you're limited to the time you have with the tutor, and usually tutors or mentors are not cheap. You're also limited to their knowledge and experience. So ChatGPT is a double-edged sword in a good way. It can help you be a more productive programmer, and it can also help you be a more effective learner. Next question at the top of mind is whether ChatGPT and models like it will take our jobs as programmers. The short answer is that I don't know. But I think that there is a better way to approach this problem. A better way to look at this issue is to analyze how it's changed how we solve problems daily. By that measure, it's already evolving programming. So the future may not have programmers in the traditional sense, but it may have engineers involve themselves in a process called natural language programming instead. Traversy writes the following: I probably wouldn't have said this 5 or even 2 or 3 years ago, but I truly believe that in the near future, learning how to prompt ChatGPT or other AI tools will be a necessary skill for developers, and at some point will be the main way that developers will be able to create software. Just like the programming languages we use have evolved over time from low-level assembly language to higher-level languages like C and C++, and then even higher-level languages like Python and JavaScript. See the pattern here? I mentioned GPT-4's Code Forces rating of 392, making it a good programmer at best. But betting that it won't improve in this skill, I think, is naive at worst. Through this analysis, the most reliable trend to follow is that these language learning models will continue to augment the way that you do your job, and it's not just for programmers. Newport writes, but given the constraints of these technologies, the applications will likely be more focused and bespoke than many suspect. ChatGPT won't replace doctors, but it might make their jobs easier by automatically generating patient notes for electronic medical record entries. ChatGPT cannot write publishable articles from scratch, but it might provide journalists with summaries of relevant information collected into a useful format. The way to look at this as a reference by GPT-4's cousin, Copilot, is that these models will help you lessen the tedious aspects of your job. You can validate this point when you take a look at what the creators of these models are designing them for. When examining an AI assistant similar to ChatGPT by the name of Claude, this model is implemented through an existing work productivity tool by the name of Slack. According to the model's creators, we believe in Claude's ability to be a force multiplier for human productivity and communication. By embedding Claude as an assistant in Slack, people have instant access to AI-generated insights right from where they are already working. Moreover, you can further look at this trend by taking a look at Microsoft, which has a reported $10 billion invested in the creators of ChatGPT. The corporate giant is not just integrating Copilot into your text editor. They are integrating this technology into their entire 365 Office suite. So for morbidity's sake, will these language learning models take your job? I think through this analysis that is less likely than somebody utilizing AI taking your job. The last quote I got from Tom Bilyeu. In conclusion, ChatGPT and similar language learning models have already begun changing the landscape for programmers and knowledge-based workers. These models reshape how we work and learn by automating tedious tasks, boosting productivity, and offering personalized learning experiences. To position yourself to win in this rapidly changing technology landscape, it's wise to embrace these tools and utilize language models like ChatGPT. Integrating them into your daily workflow can make you more efficient, productive, and valuable to the market. While there is no definitive answer as to whether these language learning models will take away jobs, it is evident that they will continue to augment our abilities and change how we approach problem solving. Instead of fearing the unknown, we should embrace this change, learn how to work with these AI-powered tools, and harness their potential to become better at our jobs, and ultimately thrive in programming and beyond.